Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 660th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. Straight away you'll see this is fought on one of my favourite maps, a Germanic forest map with a big open plains if you want to fight out in the open as we talked about before, or you've got the woods if you want to hide your units and spring those nasty ambushes onto the enemy team there. So I think this map has got a bit of both, whatever you want really. It's a really good map. Okay, our first teammate is an RTW player called XERITH. Now XERITH has got 12 infantry, 2 archers and 6 cavalry. Okay, 12 infantry, 2 archers and 6 cavalry. I don't know much about this player. He's been in a couple of our games in the past, but I don't really know him. It'd be interesting to see how well he does. Our next teammate is Brotherhood member MANTU. Now MANTU has got 9 infantry, 6 cavalry and 5 archers. Okay, 9 infantry, 6 cavalry and 5 archers. And if you notice here, if you count the upgrades on his cavalry, you'll see that they are fully upgraded. 3 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack, and like we've talked about before, that takes him out of the elite cavalry bracket into the super cavalry bracket there. But I'd like to draw your attention here to a light, fast moving cavalry unit called the Equite. Okay, now there's a reason he's bought this cavalry unit, and all will be revealed as the battle unfolds, but there's a definite reason he's bought that. So that's Mantu's army, pretty good army there. Our next teammate is RTW player Mark Antony. Now Mark Antony has got 13 Spartans, 4 of the cheap short range archers and 1 fast moving cavalry unit there. Okay, as I say, Mark Antony likes to bring Greeks from now and again. He's pretty good. As I say, he's got the cheap, as I call them, the cheapest chips, short range archers there. He's got a peasant unit there, which he's hoping is going to encourage expensive enemy arrows and pilers to be thrown into that cheap unit. And he's got a fast moving cavalry unit, possibly to take out enemy archers there. Okay, so that's Mark Antony's Greek cities army there. Be interested to see how well he does. And our last teammate is myself, Spartan Commander, who's got his very old Roman army of 13 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, 13 infantry and 6 cavalry from me. So there's our team. It's got the potential to be a cracking battle, and I hope you enjoy it. And here is the other team. We have RTW player God. Now God has got the new bog standard 31k Roman army of 8 infantry, 6 archers and 6 cavalry. As I say, we know from many years the bog standard 31k Roman army, as we talked about before, is 14 infantry and 6 cavalry. That's the old bog standard 31k Roman army, while this is the new bog standard 31k Roman army and has superseded the old one. The only difference that he's got with his cavalry here is they're not fully upgraded. If you notice, he's just got 8 upgrades on, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. But he's still got the 8 infantry, 6 archers and 6 cavalry. Okay, so as I say, this is the new, seems to me, bog standard 31k Roman army that has superseded the old 14 infantry and 6 cavalry 31k Roman army. The next teammate is RTW player Luke. Now Luke has got the same army as God, 8 infantry, 6 archers and 6 cavalry. This is his 31k Roman army of choice. The only difference is he has got fully upgraded cavalry, 3 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack, and as we said before, that lifts that cavalry out of the elite bracket into super cavalry there. So there you go, God and Luke have got the new type of 31k Roman army there. Be interesting to see how well it does. I still think 8 infantry is a bit low, but maybe that's just me. The next teammate is someone who's called himself Rad Harlequin, but is in fact Chucky. A lot of you will know Chucky. He's got 8 archers, 6 cavalry, 3 berserkers and 3 chosen axemen. Okay, so he's got a pretty balanced army there of 8 archers, 3 berserkers, 3 chosen axes and 6 cavalry. Quick look at the berserkers there you go, with their effective against armor maces, the massive fear factor they bring to take morale away from enemy troops, destabilizing them, making them more susceptible to routing. I think berserkers are possibly the most powerful unit in the game, maybe. And I notice his cavalry, I think he's got 8 upgrades on his cavalry, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. We know that Gothic cavalry is really good anyway, so putting really good upgrades on there really does make it super cavalry. And let's go and see if we can find their last teammate here, hiding in the woods there. Let's just see if we can spot him. Oh, there he is over there. And their last teammate is an RTW player who's called himself GYULAY. They called him into their team, so they must know he's a good player. As far as I know, I've never played with him before. And he has got 10 sacred band spearmen, 4 slingers, and 6 cavalry. Okay, as I say, I've never played with this player before, but they called him into their team, so they must class him as a good player. Now, what I wanted to talk to you about is about the amount of archers brought to the modern 31k battlefield. Now, when Steve Longshanks and myself started 31k battles about 12 years ago, most people bought 2 or 3 archer units, and then as the years went by, archer units were almost phased out. Most people didn't bring them at one stage, and now we've got 3 armies on the other team with a combined 20 archers. Now, I haven't played CWB rules for maybe 10-12 years, but if I remember correctly, in CWB aren't a lot of archers involved in that fighting. If I remember correctly, I might be wrong there. As I say, it's been a long time since I've played it, but if there are a lot of archers using CWB, it's almost like the amount of archers in CWB is being brought to the 31k battlefield. I don't know what you guys think, but these 3 here, the Germans and the 2 Romans between them, have got 20 archer units. And to me, for the 31k battlefield, does that seem more like CWB, or am I wrong there? Be interested to see, read your comments. Okay, at this very, very early stage of the battle here, you will see that the enemy player God has moved some of his archers forward there. I think he's facing RTW player XERITH there, who's on our team. As I say, God's got the new 31k Roman army, 8 infantry, 6 archers, 6 cavalry. As I say here, you can see that XERITH has moved his infantry forward there. I suppose just letting the enemy waste their arrows onto his infantry. And if you notice that XERITH is actually keeping his own archers back here. Okay, so that's obviously a tactical move he's got there. You can see that MANTU's using his archers there to shoot at God's archers. So nice bit of support there by MANTU. Be interested to see what happens on that right flank. Okay, so as you can see here, just pause the game for a second here. Just wanted to show you something. Now remember, we looked at Mark Antony's archers there. These are the cheap as chips archers. I think even with gold attack on, they're only about 190 denarii. Okay, but they still cause casualties to enemy archers. They are only medium to short range, but what it does, and also he's got his peasant unit there, moving forward, hopefully to attract expensive enemy arrows. Now, as I say, these cheap as chips archers are about 190 denarii, and these elite enemy archers could be 5-6, depends on what upgrades they put on, 500-600 denarii. So if they want to fire their expensive arrows at these cheap as chips archers, then that's great. Let them waste their arrows on these cheap archers. I suppose Mark Antony doesn't care whether those archers die or not, but you know, you've got MANTU's archers there as well. But as I say, those cheap as chips archers there, they'll attract expensive enemy archer fire, and while they're wasting their arrows on cheap archers, they're not shooting at our elite units there. As I say, make no mistake here, these cheap short to medium range archers here will be causing casualties to those expensive enemy archers, so they're doing a good job. And as I say, they are attracting expensive enemy arrows onto them there, so I think that's a good move there by Mark Antony. You know, why bring expensive archers when they can do damage to enemy archers, and as I say, get those archers to use their expensive arrows on them there. Okay, and now what I'd like to draw your attention to here is, do you remember we looked at this fast moving equite units of MANTU? Do you remember? He's bought this one fast moving equite unit there. Okay, now I said to you at the time, there's a reason he's bought this unit. Okay, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay, so you can see MANTU's bringing this unit over here, probably going to hide it in the woods, okay, for a few minutes, and then you'll see why he's bought this fast moving cavalry unit. A nice tactical move by MANTU, as you will see. Okay, so back to the archer battle here. Now I remember Mark Antony was not happy to stand around and get shot to pieces by archers. He knows that his cheap as chips archers are going to die pretty soon. And I remember he said to us, well, I'm not going to stand around to get shot to pieces by archers. He said, I'm going to attack. Okay, so if you notice here, he's slowly moving his Spartan army forward. Okay, so it'd be interesting to see what he's going to do there. As I say, his archers are going to be shot to pieces by the enemy archers there, but as I say, he's not worried about that. There's 190 denarii each. He's not worried about that, and like I said before, he's quite happy for the expensive arrows to be used on his cheap archers. If you notice here, the Carthage general has brought his 4 slinger units forward there, and as I say, if Mark Antony attacks head on, he's going to be fighting those Carthaginian sacred band spearmen there who were in front of him. But as I say, you can see the slingers here plus the archers shooting into him, so he's now decided to run his Spartan army forward. Okay, so he's leading the charge for our team here. As I say, he said to us, I'm not going to get shot to pieces by archers there, they got so many, I'm going to charge, which is what he's done. Okay, so he's leading the charge there. As I say, the Carthage general may well move forward to meet him. You can see that MANTU is moving his infantry over as well to support, and I'm going to move my infantry to support him as well. Okay, now, do you remember we looked at that fast-moving Equitai unit there? And there we go, there it is, look. Okay, that MANTU bought. Now, make no mistake, he bought this unit specifically for this particular reason that you're going to see now. Okay. Now remember, we've seen this done before. If one of our units get close or touch one of those berserker units, it activates them and takes them completely out of control of their general. Okay, so make no mistake, this is why MANTU bought this fast-moving Equitai unit here. Now the enemy team haven't noticed it. You see, we talk about battlefield awareness very often in the Brotherhood, but this team is not battlefield aware, because look, he's just ran straight through there. He's come all the way around the flank, straight through there, and get ready for this. He's going to activate this berserker unit. Look, and bang, as he charges in there. That berserker unit activated on impact there, and now that berserker unit's going to go for the nearest enemy unit, which is, lucky for us, are the Spartans. So I'm hoping they're going to run straight into Spartan spears and get taken out. So that was a nice move there by MANTU there with that fast moving Equitai unit. If you notice here, I've moved my SBQR army facing this direction here, where there's so many archers. There's a couple more berserker units, there's chosen axemen there, so I'm trying to cover Mark Antony's flank. But I'd just like to show you a good move by the Carthaginian general here. Can you see he's moved units forward there to hold and pin the forward units of the Spartans? Okay, nice move. And now he's attacking from the flank, and he's getting units in behind Mark Antony as well. This is a nice tactical move there by the Carthaginian general. You can see Luke's brought his 8 infantry over, and he's got his archers shooting into us as well. Okay, so there's a general overview of this part of the battlefield. But as I say, with my infantry there, I want to try and cover Mark Antony's flank, because I've got a feeling there could be a cavalry builder, plus the Germanic axemen, plus 2 berserker units could be on that flank. As I say, you can see MANTU bringing his infantry over at the same time. Okay. Now, I think I'm going to throw a lot of pilers into those couple of Carthage units that's got in behind our Greek city's ally, and it wouldn't surprise me if MANTU threw in a couple of units there to attack those Carthaginian units. So there's that. Can you see that sacred band cavalry there? And then the way it was moving forward, I thought it was going to smash in to one of MANTU's infantry units there. Is that the impression you got? If you notice here, can you see that MANTU's got his Roman infantry really spread out here? Not in a traditional battle formation there. Can you see that? Really spread out there. So it'll be interesting to see how well that does. But as I say, I'm facing this our left flank here, because there's a lot of danger there. 2 berserker units, 3 chosen axemen, that well upgraded Gothic cavalry ready to charge in. So I'm facing that way at the moment, and you can see that cavalry charge in there. Look, and bang, that sacred band cavalry charges in there. Okay, bad news for us. Here you'll see that MANTU has just had his general routed there. Okay, he just had his general routed there by a combination of fully upgraded GYULAY cavalry and well upgraded Carthage Sacred Band cavalry. You've got God bringing his Scipii army over here as well, his infantry over here as well. But you can see that XERITH is moving his Brutii army forward there, hopefully to counter God's Scipii army there. Okay, now also I'd like to show you a good move here by God. Can you see that he got his Scipii cavalry here? He's come round the flank and he's got his Scipii cavalry in behind XERITH's cavalry there. Okay, so I think that's quite an interesting one there. And he's going to charge in. Looks like he's going to charge into the rear of XERITH's cavalry there. Can you see? Nice move there by God, but his cavalry now looks a little bit isolated to me. It'll be interesting to see what happens on that flank. Meanwhile here, I've got my cavalry locked and loaded, as well as MANTU. I think we should go for that Germanic cavalry. If we can hit them, I think that we could cause a lot of casualties to them there, as both MANTU and myself charge in, and bang! As we smash in there, you can see my cavalry going after that Germanic cavalry. My guess is the Germanic cavalry will back off, which is what it's doing there. Okay, so MANTU and myself did well with our cavalry, I thought there. But going back to that God's cavalry there, if you notice, like I say, a little bit isolated here. Look, XERITH's going to move his infantry in as well, and you can see God's cavalry starting to rout already here. And as I say, XERITH's bringing infantry in as well. Right, okay, so that's good news for us. All of God's cavalry has now been routed, and what XERITH needs to do now is chase those cavalry units down. See if he can take out some of his archer units at the same time. Can you see that God's got archer units there as well? So chase down those routing cavalry and kill the archers as well. That'd be great. Okay, so now Mark Antony said to me he needs help. So what I'm doing now, I'm moving my infantry forward there to help him against the enemy GYULAY there. You can see that Mark Antony has routed most of the Carthage Sacred Band spearmen. So well done to Mark Antony there. I took out, as I say, most of the Carthage spearmen there. And as I say, I'm moving my SBQR army forward with his army there to maybe take on Luke's army, but I got a feeling that Luke would back off if he's against that many infantry. Okay, you can see MANTU has brought his SBQR infantry over as well. Good support there. Okay, so well done to him. As I say, Mark Antony here would love to get to grips with that GYULAY infantry with his Spartans there. Okay, but if you notice here on my left flank, you'll notice that I'm being attacked by chosen axemen. Remember, they're effective against armour and cut big swathes through heavily armoured infantry there. Also, the Berserker unit's been activated as well. Look. So he's going to be destabilising my infantry, taking morale away from my infantry there. Okay, so there you go. You've got the Berserker units and 3 chosen axemen units there attacking the flank of my army. Now, what would be good here if Mark Antony could bring some of his Spartans over, because as we've said before, spears and pikes kill barbarian troops, including Berserkers, quite quickly. Okay, so you can see that, and you can see the archers will be shooting into us all the time, and he's got his cavalry locked and loaded out there, ready to charge in as well. You've got his chosen archers in close tight formation for more impact and more damage with their arrows. Okay, but here you can see MANTU here moving towards Luke. Now, if you notice here, Luke's moved his GYULAY army back because he's outnumbered by infantry. You can see XERITH bringing his Brutii army over, and you can see God's army there. So there's a general overview of both teams as it stands at the moment. Okay, so as I say, I've got Berserkers and those chosen axemen attacking my flank here. As I say, I hope Mark Antony is going to bring some of his spearmen over, some of his Spartan spearmen over here to try and neutralise this attack from these Germanic axemen, and as I say, that Berserker unit there as well. And that's a nice bit of support there by Mark Antony, bringing his spearmen over there. I think MANTU was thinking about charging his cavalry and then stopped because he realised that he may well lose some of his cavalry on friendly spears there. Right, did you see that Berserker unit glow, which has got a battlefield promotion there? Remember, when a unit does well on RTW, it gets a battlefield promotion, so it'll have a stripe on it there. But I think the Spartan spears will finish that Berserker unit off quite quickly, I hope anyway, from our team's point of view. Okay. So as I say, there's a general overview of the battle there. Now, if you notice the infantry count on our side in comparison to the infantry count on the other side, Luke and God, remember, only got 8 infantry. Can you see how many infantry MANTU's got there? How many infantry XERITH has got there? And of course, I've got 13 infantry in my army. And remember that God's only got 8 infantry, as well as Luke. Okay, so as I said before, this new 31k Roman army, to me, the weakness is only 8 infantry. Okay, that's a weakness to me. Now maybe I'm old school and maybe out of touch with the way that battles are fought now, and that's, you know, that could well be the case. But to me, 8 infantry does seem a bit low. You know, I don't know what you guys think. Please put your thoughts in the comments. Be interesting to see what you think. Now over here you can see the Germanic cavalry there. Remember, they're well upgraded. 8 upgrades, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack, and Luke's fully upgraded cavalry there, ready to charge in. Okay, so this is the strength, I think, of the 31k armies, is their cavalry, really. And it depends on how well they play that cavalry to how well their army does, really. I think the 8 infantry are kind of almost subservient to the cavalry, if you see what I mean. This new 31k army. If you notice here, Luke's not firing any arrows. You can see that his bowmen are still carrying their bows, so that means they've still got arrows left in their quivers. And he's just going to wait so he can shoot at an angle. Now if you notice here, MANTU's moving his infantry forward and exposing his flank to possible archer fire there. If you see what I mean there, can you see archer fire there could go into his flank? Okay, so let's just pause the game for a second here. So I'd just like to show you something here. Can you see that XERITH has moved his general unit and one other unit forward there? Well, most of his cavalry are facing the other way. Now, he's got his cavalry there, but his infantry are quite a long way from his general unit. And now, to me, I don't know what you guys think, but this Brutio general unit of XERITH looks like a massive target. Isolated, and lots of powerful enemy cavalry out there to smash into it. I don't know what you guys think, but that's what, if I was the enemy team, that's exactly what I would be thinking at this time. Let's see if we can hit that Brutio general. So as I say, you can see MANTU moving his infantry forward there. And you can see that Mark Antony is moving his Spartans forward as well. So there could well be a double attack here by MANTU and Mark Antony. As I say, you've got XERITH here with his Brutio army facing God's army there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here as they move forward. Right now, you can see the number of infantry moving towards Luke. So all Luke can do, look, with 8 infantry is pull back. Like I said before, that's all he can do. If he stands his ground, he'll be overwhelmed by pilers and the number of enemy infantry attacking him. So the only thing he can do is pull back. So he is on the back foot there. Okay, yeah, he's got his cavalry there ready to charge in, but as long as we're careful with our infantry and cavalry, keeping an eye on them, then all he's going to do is pull his infantry back. Okay, so here you can see I'm moving my infantry over to cover the flank of MANTU and Mark Antony there from the powerful cavalry attack. But can you see how far Luke is having to run, literally run away from the numbers of enemy infantry approaching him? Because, like I said, he's only got 8 infantry. So I say this is the flaw in this kind of army to me. But as I say, you more modern players than me, you may love this army. So please put your comments in the comment section. It'll be interesting to see. But as I say there, you can see the Germanic general bringing over some of his cavalry there. That was a nice hit there by MANTU. Took out several enemy units there. But as I say, I'm trying to cover the flank of MANTU and Mark Antony. Right, this is a nice hit here by God, charging what's left of his cavalry. Remember, we saw his cavalry routed earlier by XERITH. And there you go, MANTU's going to counterattack with his fully upgraded cavalry. And bang, as he smashes in there. Nice hit there, nice support by MANTU. Okay, so most of God's cavalry have now been taken out. Now can you see Mark Antony and XERITH moving towards God? Now once again, remember, God's got the new 31k Roman army of 8 infantry. Well look, with all this infantry coming towards him, all he can do is run away. That's all he can do. The numbers of our infantry going towards him, look, this is a good tactical move there to counter these new 31k Roman armies. Plus I got my cavalry locked and loaded because I'm ready to smash in to that Scipio army if I get a chance to help my allies help out. But that's a bad tactical move for me, because with all that enemy cavalry on the left flank, I should keep my cavalry by my infantry to support my infantry. Okay, that's what I should do there, with all that powerful enemy cavalry facing my infantry. So I should keep my cavalry by my infantry to help my infantry out there. Okay, so I could be just about to do a really bad tactical move here. So it'll be interesting to see. Okay, so as I say, I got my infantry facing the bulk of that enemy cavalry, but remember we looked at XERITH's general. Okay, there it is. Look, just gold shield, gold attack on. Very important unit there with all the morale that it's given. But if you notice, XERITH's cavalry and infantry are on the other flank chasing God's Scipii army there. So he's just left his general. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if that Gothic cavalry will aim for the other Brutii unit there to smash through the general unit. You watch this. Okay, the Germanic cavalry coming in, it's going to smash through the general unit because he's aimed for this other Roman unit here. Bang! Can you see? It's going straight through the general unit. Bang! Straight into the other unit there. And you'll see all the other enemy cavalry pulling in there. That Brutii general's going to just about rout at any time. And there you go. And in fact, he's been killed. So that was a nice hit there. And maybe that was a bad tactical move there by XERITH, leaving his general so exposed to that massive cavalry hit. So now we've lost a morale-giving unit there. Okay. Now what I'd like to show you here is, like I said to you, I think I've done a bad tactical move here by trying to help my allies take out the Scipii army there. Okay. Now if you notice here, my cavalry is away from my infantry. As I say, I'm trying to help Mark Antony and XERITH here take out this Scipii army, so I've moved my cavalry away from my infantry, so my infantry's got no cavalry support at this moment. Okay, now if you notice here, can you see I got powerful cavalry on my left and two fully upgraded cavalry units in wedge formation on my right. Now I'm thinking I need to move my infantry out of that way, but the moment I move it, I think I'm going to get hit by enemy cavalry, and make no mistake, this cavalry is so powerful it may well even take my infantry army out here. Okay, look, they're locked and loaded, ready to charge in. I'm feeling exposed in that position, so I want to move like maybe in behind MANTU's infantry, but I know the moment I move, I'm going to get clobbered. There we go. See that fully upgraded GYULAY cavalry coming in from the right, see it coming in from the left, and bang! Get ready for this, and bang! As it smashes in to my moving infantry there. Okay, nice hit there by the GYULAY general, and you can see the Germanic general going to charge his cavalry in as well. So I'm being smashed here by all that cavalry. Now what I'm hoping for is that I can get my cavalry back to my infantry before all my infantry is, well, smashed and crashed by all that cavalry. I need to get my cavalry back over there to support my infantry where it should have been anyway. Okay, so for me, that was a bad tactical move by myself. XERITH has got his Brutii cavalry in there, which I hope he's going to use to counter-attack. You can see MANTU moving his infantry in. Right, great. And now XERITH looked like he was going to charge his cavalry in to help me out, and then stop those three units and pull back. I thought, you know, he needed to charge those cavalry units in there, I think. I don't know what you guys think, but, you know, I thought that stopping there was kind of strange to me, but there you go. So my infantry now is being still hit by Germanic cavalry there. As I say, I'm moving my cavalry over now to try and help my infantry. That Germanic unit was going to charge into my flank. If you notice here, Luke's fully upgraded GYULAY cavalry going to smash into my infantry. Surely this is it for my infantry. And bang! As that fully upgraded GYULAY cavalry smashes in to my SPQR infantry there. Look at the penetration there. Whoa, and the Germanic cavalry's coming in as well. And bang! As that goes in there. Oh my gosh. And here you can see, not only am I being smashed and crashed by all that well upgraded cavalry, to top it, there's a berserker unit there as well, activated. So he's going to be taking morale away from my troops. So I can't believe that my SPQR army is still holding there. So I'm going to charge my cavalry in there, hopefully trying to relieve the pressure on my infantry. Now, if you notice here, can you see that Luke is charging into MANTU? Does that look like a blob attack to you? I mean, you know, a lot of veterans will know what I mean by a blob attack, but does that look like a blob attack to you, that he's just charging into MANTU? As we know, a blob attack is quite weak, so it'd be interesting to see how Luke gets on there. But here you can see my Brutii ally charging his cavalry. You can see I'm counter-attacking with my SPQR cavalry, and once again XERITH charging his Brutii cavalry in as well, and bang as we charge in there. So we've caused a lot of that berserker unit there, as I say, with all that cavalry smashing into my infantry. Right, you can see that fully upgraded GYULAY cavalry charging back in again, and bang as it charges in there. And once again, you can see my hard-pressed SPQR infantry and cavalry now taking a full brunt of that. Nice move here by MANTU. Look, charges cavalry into the rear of that attacking enemy force there. Nice move there by MANTU. But anyway, as I say, you know this old Roman army of mine is morale based. I think if I would just gold shield, gold attack, my army would have broken a long time ago. But as I say, my army is morale based. Most of my units got a stripe on. I've got eagle units. I've got my infantry general unit in there as well. And I think that's the only reason that my infantry has managed to hold against this massive cavalry attack there. As I say, Luke's blob attack is making a small inroads into MANTU's army there. But you can see our allies, Brutii infantry, up behind MANTU. They're ready to support him. So nice there by XERITH there. That's good news for us. We've taken a Germanic general out. Very good news for us. Okay, I've got my battle damaged cavalry back. You can see how battle damaged it is there, and I've only got 4 units of it left. 2 of my other units are down. I'm going to charge it back in again. Hopefully try and take out the Germanic troops that are left there. Bang! As I charge in there, I think that berserker unit's just been completely taken out there. Remember, you saw it glow and it disappeared. That means the whole unit's just been taken out. You can see I'm charging my cavalry on through there. You can see there, you can see that Luke has pulled his infantry back, is charging his cavalry into MANTU as well now. As I say, I think Luke tends to rely on his fully upgraded cavalry, and if you can neutralise that, then I think that his 8 infantry then could be mopped up quite quickly. Okay, so, you know, just looking at tactical moves here. Okay, and if we look at the rear here, we'll see that Mark Antony with his Spartan army is taking on God's infantry there. Okay, so he's taking on, as I say, God's infantry, but he's being shot at from different angles by archers there. Okay, but he's holding up God's infantry there, stopping him coming into the fray, but he is being shot at different angles here by archers. You can see God there taking some extremely battle damaged cavalry over there to try and help his allies out. You can see Charlie looks to charge into the rear of our units if he could with those battle damaged units. Now, as you can see here, remember we're SBQR and purple SBQR and green Brutii. Right, you can see MANTU charging his infantry into Luke's infantry there, okay? Now, I've got my cavalry locked and loaded, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and charge into the rear of Luke's general there. Okay, one of MANTU's units just been routed. 2 of his units just been routed, okay? So this is what I'm going to do. I've got extremely battle damaged cavalry, but I'm going to charge it into the rear, okay, of Luke's general there, hopefully trying to take it out. Okay, you can see some of MANTU's units are starting to rout here. So, and there you are, you've got a couple of Luke's units there that come round behind us now. But I'm going to charge my cavalry into that general unit there. Okay, now it's my cavalry charge has been neutralised a bit by the enemy cavalry there, but still managed to get some cavalry through there to attack that general unit. Okay, but you can see enemy cavalry units coming in onto my cavalry there. Okay, now I'm just going to pause the game here to show you something. Okay, now you can see that MANTU and myself are struggling here against all that enemy cavalry and enemy infantry there. Okay, several of MANTU's units have been routed. Okay, you got all that fully upgraded GYULAY cavalry still in there. So MANTU and myself are struggling here against Luke's and the enemy cavalry that are there. Okay, I'm keeping my general back out the fray there to give general morale bonus to my troops there. But what I'd like to say here, can you see my cavalry charging in there? Bang! As it charges, and we're trying to take out Luke's general, which we've managed to do. Okay, but as I say, we are struggling here against these enemy infantry and cavalry. Now, MANTU has said to XERITH twice, attack! We need you to attack. He's got all this infantry he could throw in, and he's got his cavalry. Well, I've got a theory here. I think that XERITH plays with God, with CHUCKY, and with Luke a lot on Rome Total War, and I don't think he could bring himself to do the knockout blow onto his mate Luke's army there. Okay, that's my theory. I don't know what you guys think, because what other reason would he be standing there not helping his allies, in fact watching his allies really struggle there and not doing anything about it? See how he's just keeping his army back? MANTU was really angry about it because he said, I asked him to attack. I said, please attack, we need your help. And he just stood there and kind of watched us struggling. Even if he'd have just charged his cavalry in, would have been enough to finish off Luke's army, or, you know, move his infantry in. But he kind of just stood there, and as I say, I think he couldn't bring himself to do the knockout blow on his friend Luke, who he plays with a lot on Rome Total War, and would prefer to watch his allies struggle in there. If you guys got any other thoughts on this, maybe I'm totally wrong here, but what other reason would he have for just standing there and not helping us out? Luckily, between MANTU and myself, we did manage to rout the enemy army there. But, as I say, not for any help from our ally, our Brutii ally. So, just seemed a bit strange to me, and please put your thoughts in the comments. We've, say, MANTU and me, MANTU's got some very battle-damaged infantry, the same as myself, but my cavalry charging in there as well really helped. But, as I say, I can't understand why XERITH just stood there with all that infantry and all that cavalry and watched MANTU and myself struggling, trying to take out the enemy cavalry and infantry we were fighting. You guys, you got your own thoughts, please put them in the comments, I'd be interested. And he wasn't AFK, because he's only just moved his infantry there. So, right over here you'll see that Mark Antony is still fighting God's infantry, but I got a feeling God's going to admit defeat, because all his allies have admitted defeat. So, yeah, you go, he's just admitted defeat there. So, yeah, I thought that was an interesting battle there. Let's just pause the game for a second. And it's quite a spread out battle. Everywhere you look, you can see some dead bodies. Everywhere you look, where there's little skirmishes, where there were archer battles there, like, you can see every now and again you come to a little bit more of an intense part of the battle there. But all over the battlefield there seems to be bodies. And here you can see where the most kind of concentrated part of the battle was here. And over there as well, we can see, as I say, it was a very spread out battle with there's body seems to be all over the place on this battle here. I thought it was an interesting one to watch. Let's say we've managed to right, as I say, with only 8 infantry in this, you know, this new 31k Roman army, I think here we saw an example of how weak those new 31k Roman armies can be with just that 8 infantry, because all you need to do is keep pressing them with more infantry, and all they can do is keep pulling back, retreating all the time on the back foot. So I was just going to say that might be a good tactical move for the future against these new 31k Roman armies there. So let's say our team looks like it's managed to to go on to win the battle there. Okay, the first thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the game there. Really well played, guys. Great battle. And as you can see, it was a close victory. Highest kills in the game goes to CHUCKY with his Germanic army, 1,611 kills. So well done to CHUCKY there. Got some good kills with Germania. God didn't get very many kills, 701 with that brand new 31k Roman army. So, as I say, interesting to see. Luke got some good kills. He had the same army as him, 1,305. As I say, well done to CHUCKY there, and well done to the Carthage guy that probably didn't get the kills he wanted to either. Okay, but just say really well played, guys. My army, as you saw, got smashed and crashed by all that cavalry and that berserker unit, so to get 917 kills I thought was pretty good. It's not brilliant, but to get that many kills I was quite pleased with that. Well done to MANTU, got some good kills there. With his SBQ army, he was all over the place supporting there, so really well done to him. Well done to Mark Antony. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to, but he led the attack at the beginning of the battle there. And well done to XERITH. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there with his Brutii army. So just to say, I hope you enjoyed this battle. It's an unusual battle. And as I say, it's nice to see armies evolving on Rome Total War, even though the game is 17 years old. But whether these new 31k Roman armies are good, we just have to see. Bye for now.